London is a long way from Haiti, but it's a journey Mary Murak had to make for this extraordinary reunion between her baby, who many thought had been orphaned, and the mother, who had believed her child was dead. But she's overwhelmed by conflicting emotions.
I felt sad because even though I was told she had lost her arm, and in spite of seeing the photo, I hadn't really believed it. It's when I saw her that I finally believed she had really lost the arm.
In a twist of fate, Landina's life was saved by the earthquake that struck Haiti in January, killing more than 200,000. It set in motion a chain of unlikely events that led to her life-saving treatment in Britain. Several nurses and a surgeon died when this hospital collapsed around Landina during the earthquake. She was pulled from the rubble 2 days later. Landina had already been in the hospital for more than 2 weeks before the quake hit, after being severely injured in a house fire on Christmas Day. But the earthquake brought her into the care of British surgeon David Knott at this field hospital in Port-au-Prince. He believed she would be dead within days, without urgent help.
It's actually getting a little bit worse, so that's the reason why we need to have the baby transferred to a specialist unit.
The critical operation she needed on her badly burnt skull could not be done in Haiti.
We've been very lucky so far, and even in the last second now, we've only got probably 10 minutes to take off. We've just made it, so good for her.
At the time, no one knew where her family were, or even if they were alive. At Great Ormond Street Hospital in London, Landina was handed over to the care of Facing the World.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. A charity paying for her medical evacuation and treatment. Its chief executive, Sarah Driver-Jowett, became the baby's temporary legal guardian. The charity felt obliged to try to locate Landina's family, but after many weeks was struggling to make progress. With Landina's treatment a success, I decided to go back to Haiti to assist the search for her family. So all the records of people who come in are here. Little did I know what I was getting myself into. The first challenge was separating fact from fiction. After all the publicity surrounding Landina, many Haitians appeared to think there might be something to be gained by claiming her as family. This man shared Landina's family name, Seignon, and suggested he might be Landina's uncle. His claims turned out to be baseless. Over a 3-month period of false trails and exasperating dead ends, no one had given me any real clues as to where the family might live. I even went on local radio to make an appeal for... It wasn't possible to find the family at the time. So we're trying to find the family to see if there's a family for her to come back to in Haiti. Finally, I was guided to one of the worst slums in Port-au-Prince. Bonsoir.
Good morning.
Bonsoir. Hi. Inigo.
Mary Murak.
Nice to meet you. Mary Murak Seignon produced a medical record from La Trinity Hospital bearing Landina's name.
Document of Landina Seignon.
I produced a photograph.
Is that Landina?
Yes, she said, that is my daughter.
Oh.
Landina's story had been buried under the chaos and trauma of the earthquake.
What would she like to happen now?
I'd like to go over and take care of my baby.
But I still wanted to know how Landina was injured and then separated from her mother. Mary Murak lives in this slum with her 3 other young children from different fathers. It's a precarious hand-to-mouth existence, and she struggles to feed her kids. At night, the slum rarely has electricity, with candles the only source of light. A fallen candle apparently started the fire. I discovered that her children were alone in the house. Landina's injuries were severe, said the doctor who first treated her.
Not every part of the body had the same degree burn, you know. But for the scalp, I remember I was about 30 degrees because there was carbonization.
What do you mean by carbonization?
That means everything is burned out, it's become dark, you know. So you have all tissues are a little burned, you know.
It really hurts me that she's missing an arm, but it's not a problem as long as she's safe.
So why did she leave Landina on her own in this hospital 2 weeks before the earthquake? She says that the day after the fire here at the Trinity Hospital, her mother wrongly informed her that Landina was in fact dead. Her mother says there was a mix-up. Didn't she say, well, we should at least bury the child?
There was no question about burying the body. My mother told me we are too poor and can't afford it, so I agreed with her to let the hospital dispose of the body.
Hey, look who that is. Yeah, look, there's your mummy. There's your mummy. There's your mummy.
It was time for Mary Murak to see her daughter again. Well, at least over the internet. Landina is with her carer, Najma, and the charity director, Sarah Driver-Jowett.
I want to thank you for helping Landina and me.
Tell her she's a very loved baby.
While pleased to see her daughter, the extent of Landina's injuries are clearly hard to take in. It's a painful reminder of the accident.
So she's got this burn. Can you see it?
With her departure for Britain now imminent, we return to Mary Murak's home to see about her preparations for the trip and to talk about Landina's future. The charity Facing the World is obliged to return Landina to the care of her family once her injuries are stabilised. But this is an unforgiving environment where sewage openly flows in the alleys outside her house. It's a world away from Landina's life now in Britain, where she receives round-the-clock care and attention. Mary Murak seems to have some awareness of this, and the dilemmas she faces dominate impassioned discussions with close friend Beniranda.
Let me explain to you. Remember how I used to leave for work early in the morning and come back at night? Do you see Landina coming back to that? I have to watch her all the time to ensure she never gets hit on the head. She's missing an arm. Can she even walk?
Bringing Landina back here is a big problem. My hope for her is that she stays over there, but that's a problem too. If she stays, will she get adopted? And if that happens, will Mary Murak still be her mother and be able to see her?
Part of the problem is that Mary Murak has no regular income, having lost her factory job last year, and prospects for work are not good. Now the charity has discovered that money set aside to provide for her other children while she goes to see Landina in Britain has already been spent. The money, she says, went on her kids. Such issues have become a point of tension with the charity. In turn, the charity is already struggling to raise funds to cover Landina's future medical costs and care, and it's concerned that they cannot provide a lifetime of social support too. It all comes to a head in Mary Murak's last conference call with her Uncle Franza and the charity just before her departure.
She talked too much. Translate as much of that as you can. I run a medical charity. I cannot support every family of everybody who applies. But what the family needs to get out of their heads is the concept that facing the world is not their breadbasket for the rest of their life.
Franza feels there have been some unfortunate misunderstandings.
Sarah knows Landina, but she's only seen Mary Murak through a laptop. She doesn't know Mary Murak or her situation.
I guess at the heart of it really is a different set of expectations from the two sides. On the one hand, the family are saying, look, you know, we thought Landina was dead and buried, but now you've brought her back to us, great, but she's a burden on an already heavily burdened family. How are we going to deal with this? On the flip side, Sarah, I think, feels, look, we've saved this child's life, we've given her extraordinary care, and you seem to want more and more. And I guess that clash of expectations was always going to come about, and it has. But now there's a chance to talk face to face with Mary Marac's departure for London. She says goodbye to her other 3 children. It's Mary Marac's first time on an aeroplane. 2 days after leaving Haiti, she finally arrives in London and is greeted by Landina's temporary legal guardian. For Mary Marac, it's not just her surroundings that are unfamiliar, but even her own daughter, who was just a month old when she last saw her. It's a moment to savor the celebration of a young life saved when so many in Haiti died. Landina has now spent most of her life in Britain and has formed bonds with others who care deeply about her future.
Well, I'll show Mum all of Landina's stupid noises and what they mean and how she's used to us reacting to them. It's about learning Landina.
Learning Landina is one thing, but it's uncertainty about their baby's future that will occupy much of her time here, while she tries to reconnect with the baby she never imagined seeing again. What will happen next? These are major discussions for Charity and Mother. Will Landina return to the family in Haiti? And should she? Answers to these questions go to the heart of how we help the most vulnerable in disaster zones, where so many are struggling to survive. More immediately, it's the fate of tiny Landina that must be decided.